Hello again. So this activity, we are going to be making paper airplanes out of a simple sheet of paper. You may have made airplanes before. There's a ton of different tutorials and videos on the internet or in a book about how to make different planes. Some are super intricate and detailed and others are pretty plain and basic, but most of them will get your airplane flying through the air, no problem. So we're just going to use a regular piece of like printer paper. If you use a heavier, thicker piece of paper, you will get different results even if you try and fold it the same way, because gravity is one of the forces that is making this come down. I don't want to say it's making it fly because gravity is the force that's keeping us on Earth. So as you're trying to fly this, it's going to get pushed down, pulled down, I should say, towards the center of the Earth or on the ground. So the heavier the paper, you're definitely going to get some different results. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our paper, as they call this, landscape. Okay, so the longer side is at the top. And we're going to fold it in half. And I call this hot dog style as opposed to hamburger bun style. So we're just going to fold it in half. And then the next thing we're going to do is open it up so you have that crease in the middle. And we're going to take the ends, and it doesn't really matter which side you start on. And I'm going to take this edge and fold it over, okay? So I'm taking the point just to where it meets the crease. And then I want to put a nice crisp crease in it. So use your fingernail or your nail. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to take the point and line it up along that crease that we just made when we folded it. Oops. Okay. So that is where we are so far. Kind of looks like a house if you put it that way. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over so my folds are on the bottom, and I'm going to fold back just until I see this triangle of paper. So right there, so that I can still open these flaps. Again, I want to crease everything so it folds nice together as we move along. Now what we're going to do, so with the triangle tip pointing down or on top, we're going to take this edge here and fold it, the point down here. So I'm going to take this point about an inch or so and just again point it towards that center line and make a crease. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Take the point, just fold it in to meet that center crease we've made in the very, very beginning. Okay, like that. Next, we're going to find this point and we're going to fold it back or up as far as it will go without folding these sides. So I want to fold it up as far as I could go, but I don't want to crease that. So as you can see, if I pull it up too far, it's going to start to crease those other sides, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to fold it to there. So all I did was take this and fold it up without creasing the last two folds I just made. I don't want to change those. And then we are now going to fold it in half on this existing crease. Okay, we're going to go in the same direction. So I'm actually just going to flip it over and fold it up. And it should do that relatively easy because we've already had that crease. So when you do that, it kind of like looks like this little corner is tucked inside that other triangle. Now we're going to take this edge here and fold it straight down to match up with this edge. So this angle here, we're just going to take it down and line it up, and you kind of look like you have a little wing past there. So now this is what we are making is the wings, but you have this little flap that's sticking out beyond the other edge. Fold it over, and I'm just going to flip the other side down as well. Again, pushing down really tightly on those creases. And now I'm just going to open it up and pull up my wings. And this is what it looks like on the bottom. So that little triangle we folded kind of holds everything together without any tape or anything like that. So you can take it, and I'm just going to push my wings up to make it flat. I'm going to hold it together underneath, and I'm going to crash it into my camera here, but I'm trying to show you that it flies. It does fly pretty well, actually. And now it hit something, so those little flaps came out. So I'm just going to take it and tuck them back in, and you can keep flying this. You can go outside and fly these. You can test these. You can race them, see how far they'll go or how high even they'll go. So what makes this work? You have to apply a force to this paper plane. There's no stored energy in here at all. So you are the force. So you're the one pushing the airplane forward. You're giving that initial, it's what's called the thrust. And then the next part is when it's flying forward. So the air that's traveling on top and on the bottom is actually providing you an upward lift. So that's what's allowing you to make it fly in the air. The air is pushing underneath the wings and down on top. So eventually it's going to slowly start to fall down because of gravity as well. So the air that's pushing against it is also called drag. I think I used this example once before. If you were running and someone grabbed the back of your shirt and tried to hold you back, it's called resistance or drag. It's holding you back a little bit. And like I mentioned earlier, the type of paper you use can make a difference of how far or how high or how long your airplane actually stays in the air. So all those forces, the thrust, which is the force you're giving it, the lift, the air pushing underneath the wings, the drag, which is the other air pushing down on it, and then gravity, which also works about bringing our airplane back down to the ground, is going to affect how well your paper airplane will fly. You can test it out. You can even make some additional folds on here if you want to. You can try folding these. The wings, you can make them a little shorter. If you have a larger sheet of paper, try making a larger airplane and see which one flies better. So it's always good to compare and contrast and make adjustments where needed. If you wanted to ahead of time, before you start making folds, you can design it or decorate it. Maybe put your name on it somewhere so that if you are racing against someone else, you can identify whose is who. So have fun with your paper airplanes.